Good morning shed fans, welcome back. Another quick video, well quickish video. We're doing carrying on with my container trailer project. I've got the containers all on and fitted. I've got all the bracketry made up so you can take, so they all come. Got all them sorted so you can lift them on and off. Containers lift on and off like so. That's all sorted with both the containers. So in this video now we're just going to do the lights, get the lights sorted out for it. Last night I carried a bit longer after the video. I'll just take these up, just whip these off. So these are like I said in that other video, these are my low loader beds that I've put on here. I've took the low loader apart, and you can see the old patterns for the Tamiya bed is virtually the same as this chassis. It's I think it's a Hercules chassis, I think. But I have had to drill some extra holes. I have had to drill the holes. The Tamiya motorised legs, that 4-hole pattern there, that's the same. So they just screw straight on. But the bed's out. The Tamiya bed's slightly out for the motor, to screw the motor, to fit the motor. I had to re-drill some holes there. I had to re-drill some holes thereabouts. So it's not exactly the same as the Tamiya, they are slightly different. But as far as progress is concerned, I think I'm about done really with metal work. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to neaten this up anymore. I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. So I'm going to the national gathering on weekend, this next weekend. So I've not got long to get this finished or get it to usable state. So what I'm going to do is we'll turn it upside down. I need to wire the motorised legs in. So I've done all this wiring, but I've cut it off that other trailer. So I need to get some more. I need to get some six core wire and run it down to the batteries, which I'm going to have to put on stick them together and put them inside that frame. This part's exactly the same. That kingpin and that plate, that's off a Tamiya truck, and that kingpin and plate, there is exactly the same. When I can hold it right, that's exactly the same. So that's all good. Yeah, right, so let's get on with this wiring. So that's my Tamiya light bar. I'm going to fit up into me and fit my lights up, and then I've got my lighting box. So that's my light box, just a cheapo from eBay or wherever. And what I'm going to do is stick this on the back end, put receiver in on back end. But I'm going to take some extra power off of these batteries to feed my receiver. I'm going to put a switch somewhere. I'm going to put an off switch for my trailer somewhere here, I think. To make that so that just so that side of this one. So I'll get my cable. Right, so I've got some 6-core burglar alarm cable. And it's right fine wires, a little bit smaller than these, but there's no power, there's no current going through these, so it don't really matter. You haven't got, it's not carrying oodles and oodles of power. Now before fitting these legs, I put an hole through a cross beam here, so I can. So now that just neatens that up. All them wires and that one burglar alarm cable is all there. So we strip them cables back. So I've got my wire strippers. Just strip that back there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 cores there. So I've got my colours on my battery box there and there. So I've got blue and black and orange, which is these ones, and I've got 2 blacks and a single black, which is them ones there. 2 blacks and a single black. So I've only got 4 cores, but I've got 6 colours. So if I'm a bit canny with this, just cut that off there. Think about what I'm doing. I want 2 more cores for another power to go to my receiver further down trailer. So if I just use that red and black for that job, so be careful when you're stripping wires. I've squeezed on too much and I've ripped sheathing down at the bottom, just there, look. So I have to cut that off. I have to cut that off and do that again. Wasting more cable here. So this yellow cable, you get a yellow cord, so you can split. You just make a little cut in your outer sheath, and you can just cut that off like that. So that's better. Right. I've cut that off now. Right, so you want some heat shrink as well. Double-sided tape. stick these back together. Right, so that's the batteries. This is how Tammy want you to put them together to go onto your legs for your trailer. Just take this old tape off here. All I'm doing with that is just rubbing it off with my thumb. Right, so that's those sorted. So we'll just go back to motorised leg instructions, and we'll just go to the get foot wiring diagram. Right, so that's your wiring diagram there at the top. Right, so on this wiring diagram you've got a link wire just there. So instead of me rejoining this lot back up, how I've done it before, I'm going to cut this off. In fact, I'm going to cut that off. Right, I've worked out now what I'm doing with this. So you can see this battery pack here. This wire on bottom's a blue wire, links the positive and the negative together. So that's what I'm doing here with this. Positive at this end, negative at that end. And then we've got, so that's my blue wire, that's going to be this blue wire here. So the next step is to link the motor from the blue wire to that. But because I'm using this other cable and my battery box is going further down, hang on, I'll show you. Hang on, I'll show you. My battery box is going to go in here. I've drilled that hole there in that cross beam to come to my wires here. So I've got my blue wire already soldered to that blue wire. So when this is stuck in here like that, I can just snip this burr ground cable and solder the end of this blue wire to that blue wire. And then the other instructions are so the black wire from the switch and the black wire from this box, that box there. So when you send your on your fifth wheel on your truck, push that plunger, you see there, look, it wipes across them two switches, that one and then that one, and those two switches reverse your polarities to send your legs up and down. Like this switch, that's in the link in the system, so that can send it up and down as well. So I've got those two wires are screwed together there. Instead of them joining them here on this battery, look, from the top wire is a black wire from the switch, and the black wire from that box comes along and joins together on that battery box. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to join it to this black wire here, so that one's going to want to be soldered to that wire, because then that'll carry the power through. And then if you look at this battery box here as well, you've got this blue wire linking all four batteries together. So you've got a positive there, positive, negative, positive, negative, comes through this side to this positive, negative, positive, negative. So that's what you call wired in series. So those batteries are wired in series. So that's going to be the same as having. So that's the same as having a battery box. So how you've got these four batteries together here, positive, positive, negative, positive, negative, then flick it over, positive, negative, positive, negative, and you've got your two feed wires there off those two terminals, positive, negative. That's the same setup. So that gives you your voltage, because each cell's 1.5 volts, and when they're wired in series, that wires them all together. You add all the 1.5s up, which makes 6 volts. So you can see just here when my phone zooms in. No. There, look, you can see that's 1.5 volts. Right, so I'll get on and wire that lot up, and I'll come back to you. Right, so I've managed to get all my wiring sorted out. I've put my extra wires in for my receiver. I'll just show you that. Right, so we've got this up and down switch here. That's up and down switch, and then we've got the switch from the unit off at fifth wheel. Right, and then I've put this power lead, this lead in here. So my batteries are like this. I like that, how it says with the wiring loom, with a blue wire across. So if you look at it from other side, blue wire across bottom, then your feed wires, and then your negative wires. And then I've got a switch here that I've put a servo lead on it. So I stripped that switch down, rewired it, put a servo switch on it, so I can plug it into my receiver, direct into channel 2 on receiver. So when you connect that together, and I'll just put you down. So connect these two together, and that powers up the receiver. Can you see it, red light on it there? Look, yeah. So now you just flick that switch and that turns on and off. So I need to make a bracket up to hold my switch, which I'm going to put and put my switch on that side, somewhere there like that. And then I've got all my wiring there, my power box. I'm going to have to fit all that lot in, and then do all my wiring for my lights. So I'm just going to stick that battery box in there. So when you're doing your trailers, if you're doing your trailers and you want to do it like I'm doing it, you only really need one battery box, not two. I've done my curtain side with two battery boxes. Now after I've done that, I thought about it and thought, hang on a minute, I don't really need two battery boxes. So that's that job in there. Alright, so for this video, I'll call this video a day now. Motorised legs work. We need to neat that wiring up, make that switch, stick that receiver in there, stick that battery light box in there, and do up rear lights. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.